10, 9, 8,
7,
6, 5,
4, 3,
2,
1.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us tonight for Make-A-Wish Michigan's virtual event, When Stars Align, A Community Gives Hope. I'm Wish Shalom Corinne, and my wish to have a photo shoot with Nigel Barker in New York City was granted in 2017. My Make-A-Wish experience was more than just a photo shoot with a famous photographer. My Make-A-Wish experience completely changed my life from the minute I stepped out of the limo my family was provided with in New York City to the minute I saw Nigel Barker in person and was able to model with him. I was a changed person after that trip because prior to that trip, I was used to disappointment, and hope to me at that time was anything I could find, anything I could grasp onto that seemed like it wouldn't disappoint me. And during all of that, I knew, and my family knew too, that there would be a day that is just so perfect and so filled with joy that nothing can ruin it. And when it finally came, it solidified a lot of the dreams and motivations and inspirations I had when I was a little girl that kind of got watered down by all the medical mayhem I had to experience. My wish brought it back to life. And being able to see people who I've looked up to my whole life in person, it helped me dream again. And I attribute it to my success now in school. I attribute it to the motivation I have now. The feelings that I felt during that trip are feelings that carry me in day-to-day life still. And it was 3 years ago, but the experience is only part of the wish. What it does to you and your heart lasts a lot longer. At this time, I would like to introduce you to your MC for the night. You know her from Wood TV 8 and WO TV 4, and she is a close and wonderful friend to our Wish kids, and it is a tremendous honor to have her here tonight. It is my pleasure to introduce Miranda.
Thank you so much, Corinne. She is sparkling, she is genuine, she is beautiful, and she is one of our Wish kids. You know, as I listen to her speak, I think about hope for the future. And because of generous supporters like you, kids like Corinne have hope, and we can see them into their next stage of life. That's what tonight is all about. Welcome, I'm Miranda from Wood TV 8, and we are thrilled to have you at our gala tonight. We're doing it a little differently, but we're doing it, and we're doing it big. We couldn't do it without great supporters like our presenting sponsor, Teeny Tiny Toy Store. Thank you so much to our friends there for supporting this event and believing in Make-A-Wish. Tonight's a special night. You're going to hear Wish stories. You're going to hear from our Wish kids, from Wish parents, and from our sponsors. You're going to hear the power of a wish, and you'll find out how you can be a part of something that truly is transformational. So when stars align, amazing things happen, and that's what we're anticipating tonight, and we're glad that you are a part of it. And you get to give kids hope through making wishes come true tonight. Speaking of hope, I would like to start with a story of a young girl who had a wish for a swing set. Her wish was granted this summer. Her name happens to be Hope. Take a look.
I'm Wish Kid Hope and I'm 4 years old.
Her diagnosis is abbreviated JPA, which stands for Juvenile Pilocytic Astrocytoma. Right before her second birthday, her whole right side of her face just locked up and just kind of drooped. We initially were thinking she was having a stroke or something, and then we got into the MRI, and he brought us into this consultation room, and that's when it finally hit us. Something is very wrong. We could tell The tumor itself was so big in comparison to the size of her head that her brain, like, there were no folds. There were no vessels. You couldn't see any of the blood vessels. You couldn't see anything other than a solid mass of one density and then a single solid mass of another in the center of her brain. And it was just so scary to look at. They were able to take out 2/3 of the tumor, and there was only about the size of a golf ball left over. Through this process, it's been one of those things of when you get, and I say when we've been diagnosed, because the whole family goes through it. The whole family does. And it just happens that every time that the Make-A-Wish volunteers were sending stuff to us, that's right when we needed it the most. And when we explained to her, hey, this is something that's being done for you because of you being sick, and we were going through the process of, what do you truly want in your life? She kept going back and forth, and finally she's like, I want a playground. When she realized, that's mine, I get one of those, and she goes, where are they gonna put it? And I said, they're gonna put it in our yard. And she lost it. She was running through the house, going crazy, I'm getting a playground, and I'm like, honey, you need to come back and you need to sit with me. We have to figure out what we want on the playground. And I can say without a doubt, the effect that this has had on my family and the effect that it has had on me and my daughter, it's hard to imagine when it's not you. But when it's you, when it's me, and now I'm living through it and seeing all of the support that's come through with Make-A-Wish, just know it makes a difference.
My place that makes me so happy.
I love Hope's smile and her energy. You know what? That's what hope does for all of us. It gives us something to smile about. It gives us the energy to face whatever the future holds. We've all been going through some difficult, strange times. But if you're like me, hope has kept you going. Think about what it means for a child who says, COVID what? They're facing cancer. They're facing life-threatening illnesses, and they just need a little something to hang on to. They need hope. And that's what we're doing tonight. Stars are aligning, and we are giving kids and families right here in our community the hope they need to move forward. So how can you get involved? How can you be a part of providing hope and granting wishes? It's easy. We'd like you to log on right now. Take a minute to go to whenstarsalignwestmi.org and then click on Donate to Wishing Well. Wishes provide strength, hope, and transformation amidst medical challenges. They shift the focus from the critical illness a child's facing to, what do we get to do? And a kid just gets to be a kid. We have 800 kids here in our state waiting for their wish to be granted. We have 230 kids here in West Michigan. So we want to do what we can so kids can have that hope they so deserve. I am thrilled that two of my friends have stepped up to make something extra special happen tonight. They have an announcement, and it's my pleasure to introduce Sujandra and Rachel Moraz.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Rachel Moraz, and I'm representing my late mother's foundation, the Eileen DeVries Family Foundation. Make-A-Wish was one of the organizations that was near and dear to her heart, and we know that even though you are at home now or finding your new normal, wishes still need to happen. Because of that, we would like to donate a $15,000 match to the Wishing Well tonight.
Rachel, thank you for your family's generosity. I too have a passion for Make-A-Wish and its mission. I have just completed 12 plus years formally with Make-A-Wish, and I will always have a heart for this work. That being said, the Sujandra Foundation would also like to contribute $15,000 to this year's Wishing Well. Join the Eileen DeVries Family Foundation and the Sujandra Foundation at the Wishing Well and match up to $30,000 at tonight's event when stars align.
Sue, that is amazing. Cheers to West Michigan. Let's make some wishes happen.
Thank you, Rachel. Even at virtual events, we can make wishes come true.
We want to say a huge thank you to the Eileen DeVries Family Foundation and the Sujandra Foundation. thank you for this incredible match. So what does it mean? It means tonight we've got to get busy. We need to raise $30,000 because those foundations are stepping up and kicking in another $30,000. Now, when you make your $100 donation or more, we're gonna make sure we send you this very cool star pin so you can remember your special night and you can twinkle and shine. I wanna thank some special sponsors, and we wanna start with Teeny Tiny Toy Store. This is a special place, and it's run and owned by a very special woman, Ethy Hayworth. Ethy, thank you for all you do for Make-A-Wish and for always loving our kids above and beyond. We so appreciate you. Our Wishing Well sponsors, we want to give a special shout out to the Eileen DeVries Family Foundation and the Jander Noah Foundation. I'd also like to recognize tonight's strength sponsors, Advanced Radiology Services, Andy J. Egan Company, Carl and Patricia Betts, Doug and Maria DeVos Foundation, Hayworth, Macy's, North Point Bank, Orca Solutions, Spectrum Health, Greg and Meg Willett. And I want to give a shout out to our Joy sponsors and our cocktail sponsors. The outpouring of support from all these wonderful sponsors truly has been incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And our inspiration sponsors. You know, we know that we have several people who are hosting watch parties, gathering friends together in their living rooms and around their dining room tables. Again, we are so grateful for these special friends who are joining us to help bring hope to kids. These certainly have been uncertain times. Many of us are feeling isolation, fear, and uncertainty. You know what? That's what our Wish kids and their families face every single day, pandemic or no pandemic. They don't know what the future holds. That's where a wish comes in. A wish comes in and suddenly gives them something to focus on, something for them to say, oh, you know what? We get to do this soon. And they can plan and talk about it and have fun thinking about it. It's hope. Speaking of hope, Karen Davis, our CEO and president of Make-A-Wish Michigan, is here to show you how hope continues every single day through the good work of this organization.
Good evening, everyone. I'm looking forward to the time when we can all gather together in person again. Yet I'm so happy to have you join us tonight for When Stars Align, a community gives hope. Thank you for being a part of our Make-A-Wish mission and for giving hope to Michigan Wish kids battling critical illnesses at a time when they need it most. It's truly inspiring and humbling to see the caring Michigan community step forward and make a difference in the lives of our Wish kids and families. There are so many stars that align to make wishes become reality. Our donors, our corporate friends, referral sources, volunteers, and community supporters. And tonight, we are grateful for your support and for you being a star who brings the power of possibilities to our courageous Wish children. Despite the challenges and changes we have all faced in the midst of this pandemic, our mission is moving forward because of supporters like you. Over this past summer, we have continued to grant wishes to Michigan Wish kids like Hope, who you met earlier. Aren't Hope and her family simply incredible? Make-A-Wish Michigan is delivering our mission in new, innovative ways, including virtual wish discovery meetings led by our amazing volunteers who are connecting virtually with our Wish kids to get to the heart of each wish for each child. Wonderful friends are forging ahead by hosting special activities, like Chef Jenna's virtual pizza party, and participating in endurance events, like the Dream Team Athletes. Inspiring efforts by dedicated, selfless people. And yet, we have more wishes in our program than we are currently able to grant. And despite doing our best to be nimble and agile to meet current challenges, one thing that hasn't changed in these past months is that children in West Michigan and throughout our state continue to be newly diagnosed every day. These kids facing challenges that we wouldn't wish on any adult need support and strength from our community. Hope is essential for all of us, and especially for our Wish kids and families. And tonight, you have the opportunity to give that hope to these children. Wishes are made possible only through community support. Funding determines not only the number of wishes we can grant each year, but also the pace at which we can grant them. More funding equals more children receiving a wish. It's as simple as that. And we don't want Michigan children in the midst of their health battles waiting a single day longer than necessary to experience the transformational power of a wish in their lives. Your support and love tonight are so important to our Wish kids and families, and I'm giving you my deepest thanks for all that you do to make wishes possible for these brave and courageous kids. Now, I'm excited to share more about the medical impact of a wish and why wishes are so vital to children in our community battling critical illnesses. Let's take a look.
Since I have the chance to work with our physicians across the state as chapter medical advisor, but also on the National Medical Advisory Council, I think I can speak for all of those physicians who have seen firsthand the incredibly healing power of a wish. These are physicians who each and every day work with critically ill children with a variety of different diagnoses, but with one common theme, and that is that the power and strength of a wish experience comes into their lives at a time when it's most needed, and it adds an additional dimension of healing that we simply can't do alone in the medical field. There's a favorite Disney lyric, I think it's from Beauty and the Beast, that says, sometimes a happiness is captured, somehow a time and place stands still. And for me, that really represents the magical power of a wish. Somehow the wish captures happiness. It captures joy and hope for a family that has been going through extremely difficult medical circumstances. Sometimes their outcome is uncertain. Sometimes the prognosis is unknown. And so to just stop in a moment of time to bring that child, that family, the people they love, that they are so important in their lives, and take them to a completely different place of safety and of happiness and of hope is a very powerful gift. Lily and her family are such a wonderful example of how special the wish experience is for an extended family and really an entire community. And how special is it that a family that has been on the front lines of dealing with a serious illness in their child looks out and decides to give back to this great organization, to find ways to volunteer, to lead some of our special fundraising efforts, to be our community ambassadors and our champions for the Make-A-Wish message. We know how overwhelming it is to go through the medical visits and the hospital stays and the therapies that a child must go through, but to come through that and still as a family decide that this is such an amazing, special experience that they also want to give back is really an amazing gift.
The whole wish experience is incredible, but the anticipation of leading up to a wish gives the wish child and the entire family something really positive to look at and look forward to in some of the really darkest times. We count down the days until her wish. We got to think about all the incredible things that wish might bring. And then Make-A-Wish exceeds those. All those things, every detail. It was unbelievable. I think from both a father's perspective and a physician's perspective, having the community of people supporting a wish for a child is essential, because these conditions that these kids face on a daily basis are difficult, and the day-to-day can be rigorous for the kids, but for the parents as well. And so to be supported by a community with the same goal, pushing to grant this wish, creating this opportunity for this family, has such a positive impact on everybody within that immediate circle. Not only the people that are directly impacted by the medical illness, but the people that are immediately around them that are their primary supporters, and then also the people that are giving and creating this opportunity. There's a huge benefit there as well, because you know that what you're doing is creating so much good for a kid who's had to face a lot of bad. So I think that's really important to realize, is that it's not just the Wish kid that's impacted. There are probably hundreds of other people that are positively impacted by just one wish.
seems like stars always align whenever we get the chance to work with Ethy Hayworth, our wonderful, generous underwriter of tonight's special event. So for you, Ethy, a special event as well. Here to introduce you is someone near and dear to your heart, Wish alum Sam, with a special message.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sam Dykuma. In March of 2008 is when I had my wish granted. And I was a massive sports fan growing up and got to meet some massive sports stars, as well as some of the personalities that you see on sport shows and programs on ESPN, like Sports Center. Or I'm in sports media now, hoping to, be on TV or radio covering sports as well. It was just an incredible experience to go down there and have my wish granted. To see my grandma and grandpa and be so involved with Make-A-Wish, and my grandma especially be so hands-on with the things she does with Make-A-Wish, and knowing, as she's told me, that that is a lot inspired by me, it just makes me super, super proud to have grandparents, and especially a grandma that is so caring and willing to give her time and resources to help other people, and especially to help kids that were in a similar spot as me. I remember I would go up, and after I was done with treatment, and help do the toys at the hospital, and I think it's just a really incredible work ethic, and something that I'm just, like I said, really proud of my grandma and my grandpa and what they're willing to do for other people. When I think of my grandma Ethy, she's the shining star of my world, because she has this passion for life and for others that is unmatched, and be willing to connect with other people as well. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my grandma and Make-A-Wish's shining star of the evening, Ethy Hayworth.
Greetings from Teeny Tiny Toy Store. At Make-A-Wish, we reach for the stars, and you out there are the stars that shine a bright light on Make-A-Wish. And we're reaching out to bring love and hope to children. Now, our history tells us that many people want to help, but they don't know how or what to do. And it takes a community to fulfill many of these wishes. And we're reaching out to all of you to help us align the stars and make these wishes happen.
Thank you so much, Ethy. You truly are a rock star. We love you, seriously. And we love everything you do with the Teeny Tiny Toy Store and your love for Make-A-Wish. Ethy is a wish grandma. She has seen firsthand the power of a wish within her own family. So now it's your turn. It's your turn to get involved and be a part of the Make-A-Wish family. Head to our website right now, whenstarsalignwestmi.org. Click that donate button, and don't forget, we're matching your donation dollar for dollar up to $30,000, and we want to hit that tonight. So let's make those donations right now. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Ted. He's a Wish alum, and his amazing parents.
Time stopped, kind of. Like I can still remember from January 1998, and I can just still remember. It's very crushing, very overwhelming, because as a parent, you don't want anything bad to happen to your child.
When Make-A-Wish came into this whole journey with me, I remember someone coming there and saying, "Ted, you have a wish." Feeling normal for that week. That's what stuck with me, is Make-A-Wish went out of the way to make me feel normal and happy for a week. And that life lesson is just do something every day to make somebody feel important or special, or just normal, I guess, would be what I've taken away from it the most.
The Make-A-Wish has impacted our lives. It's been 20 years now since our wish, but we always continue to pay it forward, right? Lori's volunteered at the hospital for many, many years. Ted now is living in Indianapolis and volunteers at Riley Children's Hospital every week. So always doing that. And we've always been involved in been to many, many Make-A-Wish balls and and stayed involved in that. And it is exciting now because our company, Lake Michigan Credit Union, has really continue to support the Make-A-Wish Foundation and involved in a number of different areas. Certainly financially from supporting, the Make-A-Wish Ball and other sponsorships, but our people get involved too. So, they've been trained, to be wish granters.
Personally too, I think what better cause could you donate to than, granting a child with a serious, condition just something to look forward to, something to brighten them up, just a fun experience after all this time of life being not normal. It's just a wonderful cause.
Thank you, Ted, for sharing your story. Isn't it incredible? This wish was granted 20 years ago, and Ted still remembers every detail like it was yesterday. You can also see how Make-A-Wish impacted his family, and now his dad steps up and volunteers and has his company supporting Make-A-Wish. Thank you so much. It really is true. You've witnessed it tonight. A wish can actually empower a child and provide precious time with the family, allowing them to create those treasured memories that we all have and love. Wishes can impact the physical health of a child, but they can give them strength to fight even harder. Wishes have a lifelong impact, and it's only possible because of this community that gives so generously. It's people like you, it's individuals, it's corporations, it's friends, it's family foundations, supporters who all come together to say, you know what, we're gonna do what we can to support these wish kids and make their wishes come true. If you haven't made a donation yet, what are you waiting for? Now is the time. Head to our website, whenstarsalignwestmi.org. Make that donation. We're doubling it. We want to hit that match, and we can't do it without you. So please, donate tonight. It's people like you who make all of this happen. We have one last video for you, and it's showing why wishes truly matter.
Even in the hardest of times, there is always reason to have hope.
Prior to my Make-A-Wish experience, hope was something that seemed far-fetched, to be honest. It's hard to motivate yourself to keep going. It's hard to see the light at the end of a tunnel when the tunnel is 700 miles long. It's hard to go through so much as a child and have hope.
I think the greatest gift that Make-A-Wish gives starts before I even leave on my wish trip. It starts with that first meeting in the hospital room where someone comes to you and says, if you could wish and dream of anything, what would that be? And that begins the journey of hope, and honestly for me was the greatest medicine out there that, the doctors are so well skilled in what they do, but there's not really medicine for the soul, and Make-A-Wish really comes alongside that journey and begins giving you that dose of hope that you need.
Every time I think about my wish, I feel loved.
My wish made me feel happy.
Hope is essential, and thank you for helping to grant wishes for kids like me.
Every time I think about my wish, I want to do it over again.
Hope is the light at the end of the tunnel.
Make-A-Wish is really, really, really good at giving children the hope that they can't muster up themselves. And that is what they did for me.
Wow, what an evening. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us virtually. Of course, we look forward to next year where hopefully we'll be together in person. But you know what? You've made a difference tonight. You've been a part of something incredible, and stars certainly have aligned. Thank you so much.